Today we're going to talk about teen boy bedroom ideas. My son told me that his room that he shares with his brother was too childish as he started taking down the dinosaur and bug posters off his wall. I didn't even realize that he paid attention to his wall decor, but I said, okay, give me a minute before you trash these things that somebody else might want. We started out by finding some digital Etsy prints of the boys' favorite soccer players, and then I had them printed at Vistaprint, and then we put them in some large IKEA frames that I already had. I like that the fonts and style are uniform, and the frame elevates them from being a poster to more like artwork. It did take us a while to find some we could agree on, but I like this idea better than random posters taped up everywhere. Paint. This is not something we recently changed, but I did paint the back wall in this moody peacock color with the idea in mind that they would probably prefer a more masculine vibe as they got older. This is called Benjamin Moore Newburgh Green, and I love how it shifts from blue to green depending on the light and time of day. Decluttering. Of course, when rooms need an update, decluttering is always necessary. So we went through old cleats and shoes and clothes and bins that are stuffed in the back of the closet. We also went through some more boyish mementos to decide if that's something that they want to keep or not. They are getting bigger, so we're hanging more of their clothes than we have in the past, so I had to get some new hangers. And then we can talk about the unavoidable hoodie situation in just a minute. Desks and chairs. They've had these wooden desks for a while, and I like their masculine feel. But then we had to compromise on some game chairs, and that made them very happy. I did not realize how small the drawers are in these desks, but it's probably for the best because then they can't keep all their candy wrapper collections and broken pencils. Next, lighting. Of course, if you want to glow up your teenage room, you gotta have LED lights. And while I do not love them just exposed like this, they look better behind things. This is their room and it makes them happy. I also found this neon on-air sign, and I was able to plug it into an outlet on a switch so they can just switch it all on and off at once. And it does add a cozy glow at night. They also have a small UV light for their betta fish tank that adds a nice glow, and I love the way my son decorated this with natural plants and rocks. And recently we had to bring George, the bearded dragon, inside because it's getting colder. My son got him from a friend at school who could no longer care for him, and he's warming up to us, slowly, I guess. Shoes. Teen boys and shoes. We have slides and running shoes and high tops and indoor cleats and outdoor cleats, and we do have some space by the back door, but I also cleared out a shelf for them to use so they can see what they have. Sometimes they really get into shoes and want to display them on the shelf. But if you find yourself in need of more storage, you could buy these shoe storage consoles that fit up to 15 pairs or so. I'm even thinking about putting one on the back wall here under the hoodies. Collections. This Ronaldo jersey doesn't fit anymore, so we hung it up with an upside-down hanger. It makes jersey displays so easy and cheap. I saw that on Pinterest and thought that was such a great idea. Then we cleared out most of the bookshelves so the bottom two could be for their huge school backpacks that are so heavy they can't hang on a rack anymore. And then there are the top two for whatever they're into that month. Sometimes it's a trophy or cologne or their new favorite shoes, so it's nice to have this rotating space. I've also seen some cool wall displays for all kinds of different sports balls and shoes that I think we might want to try to integrate at some point. Hoodies. This back wall used to be a bulletin board for all their drawings and school papers, but now its new life is storage, especially as their clothes get bigger and the closet can't hold them all. Let's talk about the chokehold that hoodies have on this generation. I put up 2 simple racks with hooks. They were $15 each behind the door for hoodies and hats. We live in Florida, so it's always hot. I'm not sure why we have 20 hoodies. The bulletin board is cuter. The hooks are more practical. Oh, backpacks. I'm forever trying to make sure everything has its own spot and they kind of know where it goes so the dining room table doesn't look like a gym locker, but sometimes it looks like a gym locker. Beds. I'm not sure how much your bunk beds are, but that's what we have right now. They've had them for years and they've worked great, but I'm seeing that my oldest son isn't going to fit in them very much longer. They were nice to save space, but we're going to have to do some rearranging here in the near future. There's no rug in here. It's basically just easier to keep clean. So that's the little glow up for the boys' room we've been working on slowly. Do you have any tips that have worked for you? Isn't it crazy how their rooms evolve with them over the years? I can't get over it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.